Here's how to make a mechanical pencil waterfall. Here are the pens you'll need. 1 waterfall, preferably with a ComSsa backplug. If you do not have a ComSsa backplug, I recommend getting a Namae ComSsa. 1 hybrid gel grip for the Inktube and the backplug, and 1 zebra mechanical pencil mechanism. Here are the tools you'll need. Let's get started. Take your Waterfall mod and remove the tips from both Reynolds caps. Now remove both Reynolds caps from your mod. Take your body and remove the ComSsa backplug. Cut 7 mm off your ComSsa backplug. Now on the thin end, cut off 1.3 cm. In the end, your backplug should look something like this. Now take your hybrid gel grip and remove the Inktube and the backplug. Take your Inktube and remove the tip. Put the tip inside the Ziploc bag. Now take a wire and poke the gel in the back of your Inktube. Put this Inktube inside the Ziploc bag. Take your Ziploc bag and pour some rubbing alcohol in it. Try to squeeze some rubbing alcohol through the Inktube. After some rinsing, your Inktube and tip should look something like this. Now put your tip back onto the Inktube. Now take your pliers and carefully remove the metal tip. If there's any ink left in your tip, go ahead and rinse it out. Take one of your Reynolds caps and hollow out a small hole for your zebra prefill. Start from the center and spiral outwards. In the end, it should look something like this. Now take your zebra prefill and see if it can fit through the hole inside your Reynolds cap. Now check if the mechanism works. Put your Signo tip inside the Reynolds cap. Check if your mechanism still works. If your mechanism doesn't hold, you can use some hot glue to keep the Signo tip in. Now take your front cap and put it on the front of the Super Pirat barrel. Now take your other Reynolds cap and try to hollow out as big of a hole as possible. In the end, the cap should look something like this. To hollow the rest of the cap without using a drill, take your X-Acto knife and try to cut the remaining plastic inside the cap into 4 sections. With your X-Acto knife pointing inwards, start from the outside edge and cut inwards. Try not to damage the outer part of the cap. Once you have cut the inside plastic of your cap into 4 pieces, take your pliers and try to twist and pull on each of the 4 pieces so that they come out. The pieces that you pull out should look something like this. If any of the pieces of plastic are bent inwards, try to readjust them or clean them up by using some scissors. You can also use your X-Acto knife to clean any remaining pieces inside your cap. After hollowing, your back cap should look something like this. Now take your HGG backplug and put it inside the body. Now take your ComSsa backplug and put it on the body. Now take your really hollowed out cap and put it on the back of the body. Now take some glue tack and put it on the plastic tip of your Inktube. Now attach your Signo tip to the glue tack. Push it as far as you can. Now insert your Signo tip and Inktube in the back of the pen. Try to make sure that your HGG backplug lines up. Check if your mechanism works in this configuration. Once you know the mechanism works in this configuration, it's time to cut the Inktube. Measure the body from cap to cap. Measuring from the end of the Signo tip, cut your Inktube to the same length of your body plus 1 mm. In this configuration, my body is 10 cm. Since my body is 10 cm, I need to cut this to 10.1 cm. In the end, your mod should look something like this. As you will notice, the tip should stick out a little bit so that you'll be able to click it. You can go ahead and tape up the rest of your Inktube assembly. If you end up cutting too much off your Inktube so that it doesn't end up clicking, you can push your back cap in a little more so that there will be more clearance for your Signo tip to click. If this doesn't work out, you'll have to cut a new Inktube. And there you go. That's how you make an MP waterfall using method 2.